Okay, you see on this paper right here, it says regular content and live streams. This is a note that I wrote on Tuesday when I sat down to work on my content for the week, as I usually do in the beginning of the week. So I'm starting the story off with this just to show you that I had solid intentions this week. But when I was sitting down to start planning my content out for the week, something came over me. Something came over me, and I started planning a trip to Miami. And I thought, okay, I'll just spend like 30 minutes planning this trip, and then I'll get back to planning out my content. I spent that whole dedicated time to work on my content on planning this trip to Miami. This is, as I recognize now, it's Saturday night. This is a mistake that I've made, and I'll take it out of the context of my own personal little situation. But the mistake that I made, just to put it to you clearly, is I took way too long of a break away from my content, or I took a break from my content, from my building of my personal brand, from business things. Like, I would say it would have been fine if I left it at Tuesday and Wednesday, just taking a break from thinking about content and everything like that. Cool, I would have been okay. But for it to have been Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 5 days where I have not sat down or just put intentional time aside to like work on my channel, work on my business, work on my brand, you know, that is a mistake that I have made. I understand that I've been looking for some type of cognitive relief from focusing on this whole thing that I'm building, because I've been really hyper focused on it for the past going on 6 months, So I was aware that there might come a time where, out of my own will, myself will pull back my focus. And I kept kind of telling myself, oh no, it's not going to happen. I'll be okay. It won't happen. I'll be good. And this week that happened for me. For me to, like, I think about my content normally every day, and I work on it every day. And I really believe that's how I stay sharp. I believe that's how I stay not only consistent, but that's how I make the videos and put out the content that I'm truly excited about, passionate about, content that has a lot of thought and intention behind it, by being in my process daily. So for me to have taken essentially 5 days away from that, it's I haven't had time. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a bunch of ideas in the vault. I have ideas that I've been wanting to execute on, but because I've been so focused on planning this trip, I haven't, like, I wasn't wearing my YouTube hat these past 5 days. If I'm not thinking about my content, usually I'm watching content that's within my niche, at least a few videos a week. In general, I didn't even watch that much YouTube content, whether that was my niche or it was something else. I just wasn't in it. And that is a mistake. Like, and I don't want you to make that mistake. When I was literally, before I even came up on this live stream, I try to look on like YouTube for inspiration for this live stream, look at my content planning dashboard at where I keep my ideas for inspiration. And it's like all the ideas, it's not something I could just turn on the camera real quick and talk about and like just feel like it's coming from a passionate place, or like, I don't know. So I didn't touch on none of those topics, but something that did come across my homepage was, I guess, something about procrastination. Let me see if it's still there. Like, I think I saw, oh no, it was, oh, here it is. There's a creator, her name is Tiana Nichelle, and a video she has about why you're not creating content and how to overcome it. And on her thumbnail, I see the word procrastination. So I'm bringing that up to say, like, I don't know for me if it's been procrastination is the word. It's really been just ignoring, like just being like, I don't want to do no content stuff right now. I just want to focus on planning this trip. Like, it was another project that kind of really took away my focus. But what I learned is, if this happens again and there's something that I want to focus on, that does not mean that I can completely just turn a blind eye away from my YouTube channel building, my business building, brand building. I can't just do that, because now I'm going to have to work harder to get myself back into the flow. It will be fine, because the whole planning of the trip to Miami, I'm basically done with that. But that's a part of my personality, or part of who I am as a creative, is like, when I just want to hyper focus on something, I just want to do that one thing, and I don't really want to be bothered with nothing else. But my YouTube channel and everything that's connected to it that I'm building, this is my main priority. And for me, I don't feel like ignoring it for 5 days is respecting that kind of code that I've put in place for myself. And I'm just recognizing that if something pops up again that I really, really want to focus on, I have to have the discipline that, at least on a bare minimum, I need to give, let's say, 2 hours, or whatever the time frame may be. I'll use 2 hours as an example, 2 hours to my content creation daily, or whatever the cadence is appropriate. But as an example, I would need to give 2 hours to my content creation daily, and then I could focus on the other project or other thing that really, really, really wants my attention, or rather, I really want to give my attention to. So I don't know if I'm able to put it into words like super clearly, but the best thing that's coming to my mind about how, like, this is a job type of thing. In a normal job, if I just like was like, oh no, I don't feel like it, and I just kept saying that for 5 days straight, where would that lead me? I would be behind on my work within that job at the very minimum. That doesn't mean that would necessarily result in being terminated or demoted or anything like that. It could just simply be, I'm behind on my work. I'm not in it. I'm not in it anymore. And then it's like I have to play catch up. So now I know this week is about to end. I'm gonna have to play catch up in a sense, and like really just get back focused, when I just should have maintained some level of attention on my content creation stuff over this past week, and I wouldn't feel the way that I feel right now. So that's a big lesson for me. Like, and this is something that I guess I had to go through, because I don't think I ever heard like I've talked about consistency. Like I've heard you have to be consistent on YouTube. Like I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't heard that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying like I haven't heard it put in a way of like, okay, your consistency with the type of content you want to post will be compromised if you don't put in a certain level of work or time towards this type of work daily. Something that's been just big for me in the past couple weeks is like the true realization of how much creating these YouTube videos is an art form. And I, I'm losing my train of thought, but I think I brought that up because it's just like you, if you don't practice the art every day, maybe like more resistance will be will come into the picture, and it's just going to be harder for you to create that next masterpiece. So I don't want to I don't want to get in my own way. And this is a big realization for me because it's like I've done this in the past before where it's like all of a sudden other projects, like my attention is being pulled upon by other projects, and I completely just put the content stuff to the side, and I'm like, when I feel like it or when I can focus on it, I'll come back to it. But it's really a true skill, and it's really a test of like, okay, are you consistent, Nala? Are you disciplined enough for this, Nala? If you're just going to allow yourself to not even focus on it at all for 5 days, it's one thing. Like I know doing that is like, okay, now obviously you needed some type of break, but perhaps I just need to work in more intentional breaks overall in my content creation, video creation process so that life or my brain or whatever the case may be doesn't just take the break for me. And the break just doesn't happen out of nowhere. And it's just like I lose the desire to just do that hyper focusing and everything like that. Hi, Hannah. How are you? It's been a minute. So, but I don't know if I finished my train of thought on the fact of like, I see myself do this before where I'll focus, and then turn it off. And I don't want to be bothered. And that's just not, to me, that is not the habits of someone trying to make content creation sustainable or someone trying to um, make content creation really intertwine with their life. Um, Hannah asks, "How am I doing?" And I would say, like, I'm doing really well overall. Like, I'm really happy to be going on this vacation. It's been fun to plan out the trip and everything and have like a cognitive relief, experience cognitive relief from the mental, I don't know the word, like the mental pull, I don't know the word, that content creation focus on you. I think I needed a break from like thinking about content creation so deeply and constantly like fleshing out my ideas and just thinking about it, you know? But I also am coming out of that phase of these past 5 days and not thinking about it. And I'm kind of like, oh, I got to get back on it. Like, this is not something I could just wash my hands of because I don't feel like it. And that's the problem that I'm having with myself right now is like that phrase, I don't feel like it, that phrase can do damage. That phrase can do damage on people that are driven, ambitious, they got things going on, people that, you know, in the Bible in some shape or form, it says, to whom much is given, much is required. To whom much is given, much is required. And for me, the whole like going 5 days, not really giving a care in the world about my content for real. I did, but it just really was very minimal. To me, that's not respecting the fact that much is required of me in this season right now. And it's fine for me to have taken a break and chilled back, but it's just like the way I allowed it to kind of drag on. I'm gonna repeat again, like, okay, the 2 days is cool, but by day three, maybe even day four or really day three, I feel like I should have gotten this train back on track in some shape or form. I could have sat down for an hour and focused on my content, make sure that my I knew the concept of this live stream and made sure, just the oil was running, the machine and the oil, everything was running smoothly. And when you are a YouTuber or you are a business owner or you're building your brand or you're doing a side hustle on the side, like you don't have a boss. Your boss is yourself. And if I was my own boss, I would be bringing myself into a room and being like, "Excuse me, what you got going on? I haven't seen nothing from you for real in 5 days. That is not the standard of our ship that we're running here." That's what I would be saying to myself. It's a little bit of tough love that I'm having with myself. And it's just a fine line. I keep going back to like the fine line of like, okay, you need a break, but it's just like you got to take responsible breaks. That's what I'm saying to myself right now. You got to take responsible breaks. You are in the process of building something. It's not built yet. And it could feel like a lot in the moment because it's like, dang, I've been working on this nonstop. And I can't take a moment. I can't take a breather. And that's not what I'm saying to myself, but I'm just saying it's like you got to do it in a way where you're still all its T's are being crossed and the I's are being dotted, whatever the saying is. That's just what I'm trying to tell myself right now. Uh Esprit English. How do you push through the noise and record content when you don't feel like it? For me, like tonight, like right now is a night. How long have I been on this live stream? 18 minutes? 5 minutes? I put my daughter down to sleep. It's a dark room. I'm in a cozy bed. There's white noise. It could be very easy for me to just like go to sleep. And I'm tired. I am a sleepy human being. I am very tired. But it's just like I think a combination of I took a break for 5 days. I don't know what I want to talk about, but I just need to get on this live stream anyways because I told myself that that's what I was going to do. And for me, my word to myself has gotten more important over as I've gotten older. And as I was saying, like the phrase, I don't feel like it, does damage. And whenever I really hear myself saying that, I'm like, You don't feel like it, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. You may not want to, but that doesn't mean you should follow that feeling. I just have learned to like think twice. Don't let the phrase I don't feel it. Don't just shrug your shoulders. I don't feel like it and walk away. And my 30-day live stream challenge showed me like you have the ability to walk to fight through the feeling, the emotions of I don't feel like it. It's really getting into that Nike mentality and telling myself, just do it. Hannah says, yeah, I'm going to have to really create a lot over the summer, but I need to work in breaks too. Considering working as an educational interpreter, I don't want to stress during 9 months of school. Exactly. And that's my lesson from this. Work breaks into my creative process. So I can look forward to, okay, my break is only a few days away. I can go ahead and just relax and chill. Thai fan me says, I try to vary my content between haul, cooking, and reviews so I have different things to do. I like that. I like I like the point of what I feel like you're saying is like having that variety so I have something I can lean upon. And that's what I've done with my live streams. Like if I don't feel like making a full-on video, I can at least live stream. S Esprit. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. How far in advance do you plan your content ideas? I really will do one content planning session in the beginning of the month and fill out my calendar as best as I can. So at least I have some type of guidance. But each week, I really try to like plan out the week ahead. And so I would say a week. And when I say plan out that week, it's like I may have already recorded a video the week prior that I'm posting in that current week, but I just check in and make sure, do I still want to post this? What's the title? Just if I didn't think of the title, just kind of making sure that plan still goes accordingly. And then what am I going to do for live streams and videos later on in the week? Um, Derek, if you're still here, I'm so happy you are. Just popping in and saying hello. Derek says sometimes a little break can rejuvenate you. I would say, I guess we can shift the conversation because I was giving myself some real tough love. I was because I have to. I think my break these past 5 days, I do feel rejuvenated. I do. Like, I wish I do wish I kind of touched in with my content at least a little bit over these few days, but after tonight's live stream, I have a break in a sense. Like, I don't have a video that I want to post until Tuesday. So that gives me Sunday and Monday to kind of not be customer facing or like viewer facing. I can just get back into the lab, work on some things, and I kind of feel like the break when I have my intentional focus time tomorrow and Monday, I'm going to just be the flow will happen. I do feel like the flow will happen. I guess I felt like for tonight, I don't really feel like I have the flow. I feel tired. I have a few little things. I just want to, my best friend put it in this nice little neat phrase, but I just want to like finalize my itinerary for my trip that's coming up. I just want to finish that up, order a couple of things off of Amazon, and I will kind of be able to walk away from my whole planning my trip to Miami hyper focus thing that I've been on. And I can just end the night that way and come up next tomorrow. I can just start with a new week, start fresh, make sure I have my content hat on, and just move forward like that. So I think I feel like tomorrow morning I will wake up feeling rejuvenated. I just need to finish out this Saturday night. If you are watching live, and if you have one, I would want to know, like, this topic really has to do with, I think, consistency. I brought up the word procrastination earlier. I don't think I finished my thought around it. Procrastination. I'm a procrastinator. I'm a procrastinator. I'm trying to walk away from that. I've gotten way better at that, but it's still very, very within me to procrastinate. And I haven't created the content that I've been wanting to. Like, there's just been ideas that I've been really excited to do, but they just take a little bit more effort, a little bit more focus, a little bit more intention. And I've been procrastinating on those, on creating that content, because my focus, as I've explained, has been elsewhere. And I just want, if any of you guys watching live or even on the replay deal with procrastination as creators, what have you learned to help you with that? You know, I would love to hear that. I guess I could write that question on the video. How have you improved? I don't even know how to put this, being a procrastinator as, I'm gonna have to ask ChatGPT to make this question make a little bit more sense. Can you make this more clear? Question I want to ask my, it's not understanding. Okay, how do you overcome procrastination? That's the question. How do you overcome procrastination as a content creator? I would love to hear that from you if you would like to share. And that question is about to pop on the screen now. Okay, so while I'm waiting for some responses to this question, what I would like to talk about is, like, I'm learning. I just feel like I'm in a different phase of, like, learning to be consistent. It just requires so much out of you. But does it really? I think about, like, Derek. I don't know if he's still here, but Derek is like, his whole thing is posting a video every day, I think until the end of the year or for 1 year. And when I think about my 30-day live stream challenge, it's like when you do something every day, you really get into a rhythm. But when you break that rhythm, you get yourself into a sticky situation. You get yourself caught up in some quicksand. Like, things get rocky. And I feel like if I'm going to maintain this consistency that I see for myself, this has to be a daily practice. And when I get done with this live stream, and I know going into next week, a part of the homework that I have for myself is like, okay, Nala, this can be a daily practice, but every day can't look the same. You're not going to be creating a video, posting a video every day. That's not sustainable for you. But what does content creation as a daily practice look like? You know, how many days of the week is your daily practice look like? Just looking at your content plan for like 15 minutes and then you go take a break. Like the rest of the day is a break. But even looking at my content calendar for 15 minutes, that's just doing the right thing to my brain to understand brain. Don't don't start trying to focus something on something else. This is still our main priority, content creation. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Um, I have a few answers about this question. How do you overcome procrastination as a content creator? Hannah says, I procrastinate too, so I set up self imposed deadlines. So even if I procrastinate, I get things done on time. I love that. I love that. And that's kind of what I've done for me. Like, I have. I haven't said like, hey guys, I post on these days and I do this on these days because I'm a mom, I'm a human and shit, stuff happens. Just to let you know, guys, they really try not to give you your full um, monetization and ads and stuff if you swear in your videos. I think that happened on my last video. It's really corny. But, anyways, I have told myself I want to live stream for the most part 2 days a week. And I've been doing that. And those days are like Thursday and Saturday. So, like last Saturday, I was super tired, whatever the case may be, but I still showed up. And it kind of was similar to what you were saying. Like it was a self imposed deadline. Tonight, I'm tired, whatever the case may be. I don't really know what to talk about, but I still showed up. And even though this video may not perform as well or people aren't watching it, it's like that's neither here or there. I'm just trying to maintain my level of commitment, consistency by just showing up. And that's what I'm prioritizing as important for me right now compared to like making videos where I like, oh yes, people are definitely more probably going to watch this content if you get what I'm saying. Geisha, Geisha, literally finished editing but procrastinated on it for 2 days. I did what you said. I did what you said you did earlier, which was separate my feelings and not feeling like it in the moment. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm quick to procrastinate on editing something, especially those bigger project videos. But yeah, I have gotten um I've gotten better at like telling that little voice in my mind that's like, I don't feel like it to be quiet. I gotta do what I gotta do. Alan's tone says, I'm still struggling with procrastination. I will wait till the last minute every week to write my script, record, and edit. Then I'm up all night getting no sleep where I have to get up and go to work. Right. Right. And I'm happy that you shared like it's still a struggle. And for me, it's still a struggle. And I think it's going to take some years in the game for procrastination to be like only a 15%, like a problem that only occurs 15% of the time. Because right now, it occurs way more than that for me. And to this point about like waiting till the last minute to do the creation process, then you're up all night. Like, I'm so tired because I've been up all night. Savvy, savvy. 1 second. Do you need me to check for those babies? Yeah, can you just go lay with her, please? Um, okay, guys, I have on my pajama shirt. I didn't expect for you guys to see my pajama shirt. Sorry about that. But I just had to get up on here. I couldn't get all, I just had to get up on here. Excuse me. Yeah, guys, the baby, I mean, you can't see her. I just asked her dad to go lay in there with her. Okay, so Keisha says also 5 second rule helps me to forget I forget the lady's name. I think it's Melanie, but if you give yourself 5 seconds to start the task and count down, it helps me. I like that. I like that little procrastination tip. Derek says, I'm on a long break mostly because my computer shut down. I'm in the process of getting another one. I use this break to rethink my recording routine to make it easier on myself. Well, I'm happy to hear that the break is turning out to be a useful time for you, Derek. I'm sorry about your computer. Things happen. Things happen. Hello, Maud. Hello, Maud. Um, Maud is, I need to remind you guys too, but yeah, Maud said, please remember to give this a big thumbs up to the live. Yeah, if you're here with me live, or if you're watching on the replay, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Um, Hannah says, I've been thinking about taking a break from shorts. I've been rethinking my strategy for them because the ones I want to do versus the ones that perform well are different. Plus, the audience for shorts is so different from long form. Long form friends are who I want, anyways. One thing that I think I want to pull out from this is rethinking my strategy. That's kind of similar to what Derek said about rethink my recording routine. And I feel like I'm also in a space just to maybe another way to word what I've discussed so far in this live stream is like a rethinking of how we go about this content creation thing. And kind of I really like how it's said here, make it easier on myself. I think I'm in that phase too. And I don't know, that's probably not what I talked about exactly today, but I do think it's a rethinking. And you just don't know until you keep posting these videos, you keep doing this. And it's like there's definitely adjustments that have to be made along the way. How you did things for the first 3 months may not be how you do things for the next 3 months. And just taking into account everything I've learned up until this point, all that YouTube takes out of me, and just this random break that I kind of took on the random, what is kind of showing me of I guess that's a part of my rethinking. I need to rethink how I do this thing because I need breaks worked into it, you know? So yeah, I love that word rethink. And it's okay to rethink. Hannah says, absolutely, I'm rethinking things, especially if I do get hired as an interpreter. I'll have to do pretty much all the filming on Saturdays and write and edit throughout the week in the afternoons. Right. And it's just this reminds me of the word flexibility. I feel like just thinking back to my beginning of my YouTube journey, it's oh, figure out how you're going to do this. What is your posting schedule? When you're going to record, when you're going to do this, all this stuff. You spend time thinking about it and you get caught up in thinking oh, this is how I'm going to do it basically forever. This is how I'll go for the rest of the year. I'll post on these days every single week. You think, and just speaking to myself, about myself, you think things are going to go exactly how you planned it out in the beginning when it's you don't know what things are going to look like 3 months down the road. So I feel flexibility in terms of the process, I need to be flexible in my process for creating these videos because things may shift. How I feel may change. But I always have to keep the goal in mind, whatever. I feel what I'm going to start sharing with newer creators or any content creator, really, you don't have to be a new creator, but it's just I think it's more helpful to have a goal for the channel for the year, a main priority top goal. And that goal could stay the same, but how one goes about achieving that goal on a quarterly basis, on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, one needs to be open to being flexible to how that is accomplished. It can't necessarily look the same way every month, every week. As long as you're doing actions that contribute to the achievement of that goal, then it's like you're doing good. You know, I think with YouTube is still something that is like the creators you watch, they don't talk about their workflow every day and how things look like every day. All you see is the content, all you see is the product. So it's still, in a sense, kind of a mystery of like, how does one get these videos out and like make sure there's breaks and all these different things? How does one maintain that? We don't really know. And I think it's easy to like try and take the repetitiveness or the patterns we've seen in other types of work and try and apply that to YouTube. But I think that's another mistake. YouTube is a type of work where you have to be flexible in terms of how the job gets done. Yeah. I think that if I was recording a video right now, I would be like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That was a good take. With live streams, it takes me a little minute to get my thoughts out and my ideas together. But that's what I'm trying to say, guys. That's what I'm trying to get at. The Woo Pig podcast. Hello. Yes, the strategy that the Woo Pig podcast has mentioned has been something I've been wanting to do, but even going back, I have mad live streams. There's a whole bunch of content that I can repurpose. But thank you for reminding me of this. Because if I just would have taken an hour, like on Thursday, I could have just cut up one of these videos and posted a video on Friday like I would like to. So this is a good strategy. On the topic of like having one kind of goal for your channel, Hannah says, my goal is to get a year ahead, which is ambitious, but will allow me to create midweek content in addition to the weekly content. That means I can slow down to just 2 videos a week. I mean, it is an ambitious goal, but I love that it's a goal nonetheless. So yeah, I feel like it kind of feels like a little bit of a gut punch, a little bit of a slap in the face, a little bit of like, it kind of hurts. Do I think I'm still like a new channel, so I don't have the pressure on myself to be like posting perfectly yet. Like I'm posting the exact videos I planned out in the beginning of the month or the beginning of the week, or I'm on it completely. I need this time to like have weeks like this where I realize just how important it is to work in breaks into my schedule. That just happened to be the takeaway for me of this week. But the point I'm trying to make is I'm still early in my channel, so I could fumble here and there, and I'm not beating myself up for that, or the result of that is of me fumbling, like if the views are lower and this and that. I just can't care too much about that because I'm still learning. I think I can start to look at views or numbers in a different way in terms of like a pop. I don't know. When I'm like being, I'm sorry, I'm getting caught up on my words, but I just feel like when I have a better grip on my process and I'm actually putting out the videos consistently that I intend to, then I can use the numbers, the views, or whatever as true feedback for maybe how the audience is responding to them. But in this particular time period, the period which I've kind of coined as show up, I the numbers or the views isn't a true de- de- it doesn't determine like if I'm feeling good or not, because I just I will feel great if I just showed up, even if I showed up imperfectly, can barely get my words out, whatever the case may be, you know? So I think that's it, guys. If you are watching live, I appreciate you for hanging out and just being a listening ear. You all are so wonderful. And if you're watching on the replay, I appreciate you for clicking on this and hanging out with me. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, whatever it is, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.